Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His Word. And I gotta say, family, it feels so good to say that again. And of course, family, of course, y'all already know that we cannot go without saying this. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And once again, thank you for bringing us in with your brother. And I just want to give another heartfelt thanks to every last person out there that was telling me welcome back, and they're glad to see me, because very honestly, I'm so glad to be back with the royal family and be back with you guys in your presence. And it is completely an honor and a privilege to do so. And I really mean that. I really, really do. Now, for tonight's lesson, family, this is one of those lessons here where I really want you guys to pay attention. I want you to be focused, and I don't want you to have any distractions whatsoever, because this is one of those lessons that we are going to get down on. So, as I always ask, if you don't have the patience, if you don't have the mental capacity or the mental ability to be able to sit through this and focus and learn tonight, please turn it off, come back to it at a later time, or don't watch it at all. It's all up to you. But this here is one of those lessons where I want you dedicated to everything that's going to be coming out, because I'm going to be bringing out a lot. So without any further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into this one here. Please, family, I want you to open your Bibles to the 1611 King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha, and we are going to be reading from the Apocrypha tonight. We are going to be reading from 2nd Esdras chapter 5. Now, I don't know if many of you have ever read this, but I'm going to tell you right now, after this Bible study, if you don't grasp the concept of who you are and your importance and your relationship with the Father, then I highly recommend that you take a look down your father's family tree. Oh yeah, I went there. Because I remember the first time I read this, and I remember just how supercharged I got with emotion. I don't mean like bad emotion, like, me crying like a female. No. I'm talking about how proud I was to know that I'm an Israelite. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. 2nd Esdras chapter 5. Now remember, Esdras is Ezra, the same person. All right, here we go. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. You already know who that's talking about. And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. I need to read that last part one more time. And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Do y'all understand what that means? The way of truth. The truth of who you are. The truth of who He is. The truth of the Bible and what it really says, what it actually says. That truth is going to be hidden. How is it hidden? We can start with the Christian pastors. We can start with them. About the lies that they tell, about the false doctrines that a lot of these other camps tell. All these lies are going to hide what the truth actually is. And the land shall be barren of faith. Are we not dealing with that now? All the land here in America, over in Europe, Mexico, South America. Our people scattered all over the place, and they have no idea who they are. None whatsoever. Even as brothers like myself and King Porter and King Marcus, as we bring these out, As we bring this word out, still not enough. And you know why? Because there's not enough open mouths amongst our brothers and sisters that's spreading this word. Get back to that later. Verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So here it is. The Father is talking to Esdras. And he's saying at that particular time that the world is going to get worse. Sin is going to be so deep rooted on this planet. It is going to be nothing like anything that you've ever seen or that you've heard from our elders. Nothing. It's going to be horrible. 20 times as worse. Verse 3. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly. Even the land. Not just our psyche, not just our history, but also our land. Everything's going to be taken away. Everything. And you know why? Because of sin. Because we continue to sin against the Father. Willfully. Willfully. All right? Verse 4. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. So he's telling him, if you get the chance to live, if you're alive during that time, now this is going to get more descriptive as we read, but right now the Father's letting him know that as you sit here right now during the time of Esdras, right? And he's talking to Esdras, being right now, you're here. You know you're going to come back in the future. So if you're alive during that time, if I send you back, then you'll be able to witness all of this stuff. You'll see it. You have to remember, our forefathers and foremothers, they understood that concept. They knew that we come back. They knew that that life was not the only life that they had. Because we are our ancestors. We've been here many times, generation after generation after generation. Okay? Verse 5. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give voice, and the people shall be troubled. Now, let's go back one here. First of all, talking about the sun, that the sun was going to shine at night, and the moon thrice, 3 times throughout the day. How many times have you walked outside and you was able to see the moon as the sun was out? Let me ask y'all that question right now. How many times have you seen it? And you've seen it all throughout the day. Now, I can clearly remember when I was growing up in the 80s, you know, that I would be able to see the moon, but the moon would go away. It would disappear. But today, you can see the moon all damn day. Showing you that these scriptures are real and that we are in the end, the third trumpet, as it clearly said. But now look at this one. Watch this. And blood shall drop out of wood. Can you imagine seeing a tree bleeding? Think about that. Now, hold it, but that's not the only one. Now, look at this next one. And the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. Now, we just talked about this last week, that everything gives praise to the Most High. Remember, we talked about that. But can you imagine walking past stones and the stone be like, "Sup, nigga?" Ah! Hell nah. I don't have the brain capacity for that. We are so far removed from seeing that. But our ancestors, they knew about all that. They saw all that. Y'all got to remember, we have been removed from our heritage. Can you imagine going up to a stone and talking to it? No. And even though I know that this existed, that would rattle my brain. It really, really would. I'd probably get accustomed to it after a while. But if I saw that for the first time, like, nigga, No, you got to stop talking to me. All right. Verse 6, and even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together. I need y'all to really pay attention to this part right here. And the Sodomitish sea, shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Stop. Now, are they talking about gay fish and gay whales? No. The Sodomitish sea. Now, remember, this is the third trumpet. This is a literal time, a current time that we're in right now. And he says here, the Sodomitish sea, the Father is talking about all of the sodomy that is happening on the planet right now, a complete sea of it. And they're going to make a noise. And do you know what that noise is? That noise is, hey, we're here to stay. This is right. Y'all remember what the Father said before. He said that people in the last days, right? They are going to say that right is wrong and wrong is right. Family, we're there. We're there. Right is wrong and wrong is right. You can't even have a comedian speak against them. Your voice, your opinion, your feelings towards them is illegal. Did the Father, did he or did he not tell the truth? You can't even speak against it. Because if you do, then they call you homophobic, which is the absolute most idiotic statement that anybody can make. And do you know why? Because to be phobic means that you have to be afraid of something. But do you see how they treat that? Do you see? Remember, I always tell y'all about their wordplay. They are very, very, very into their words. That's why I tell you, listen. When they speak, listen. It has nothing to do with being afraid of them. It has to do with, I don't agree with their lifestyle. And the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Listen close. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Now, I want to make sure, family, that y'all got that one there. A menstruous woman. Do you know what the Father means when he's saying that? Now, so many of you already went to, oh, you're talking about the shedding of my vaginal lining. No, that's not what he's talking about. But he is making a reference to that, saying that there's going to be so many unclean sisters out there that's bringing forth these so-called wedlock babies. I'm going to read that one more time, that last part, because I don't think y'all got it. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. That's talking about their children. These unclean women that don't want to hear anything about the truth, that will so much practice the religion of me versus keep a commandment. No, sis, you cannot wear pants. Oh, well, there's women pants. No, there's not. Sis, you know what? You actually have to listen to your husband. He is the one in command in your household. That is your king. I ain't dealing with none of that. Ain't no nigga gonna tell me what to do. And do you know what that falls down to? It falls down to the children. It falls down to the daughters that see the way that the mother is to the man, and eventually the man leaves the house. So the man is not there to raise the son. So now the son has emotional issues now. And so he gets out there and he attacks his brothers and sisters. He doesn't know how to treat a female. He doesn't know first and foremost that he's a prince that needs to be raised to be a king. And then when he does come into of age, he doesn't know how to treat that queen. Menstruous women. I didn't say it. The Bible said it. The Father said it. Don't get mad at me. But if this did tick you, if it plucked your ear and it pissed you off, that's good. You know why? It means that there's areas in your life that you got to work on. Don't worry about me. This is your time to talk to the Father and be like, Father, I don't want to be a menstruous woman. Please humble me and make me a queen that serves you. All right? Verse 9. And salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. That's so deep. All friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit, meaning wisdom, hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. There will be no wisdom on the earth. I don't think y'all really get that. The wisdom is going to leave, as y'all see as it happens now. And I don't like making fun or trying to downplay our brothers, but I got to speak of people like Umar Johnson, Kevin Samuels, Roland Martins. So many of you love them brothers, and they don't bring forth not a damn scripture, and y'all run and flock to listen to these fools. Or I'm Pan-African. Nigga, no, you're not. You're an Israelite. I'm a Christian. No, you're not. You're an Israelite. You are what the Father said you are. But all them brothers, and this is what it's talking about here, even with that confusion, all these brothers are talking about absolute nonsense. Nothing that has to do with our true culture. And so many of our people will sit and listen to them before they ever pick up the Bible and read it. All the evidence in the world. All the evidence in the world. Nope. They like to have their ears tickled. They like to be entertained by that garbage. Vain deceit and philosophy of men. That's all Umar Johnson and Kevin Samuels and all them are. That's all that is. Read that one more time. I'm going to read the last part as a matter of fact. Then shall wit hide itself, speaking of the scriptures, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Verse 10. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Now, do you understand? Do you know what the term incontinence is? Meaning having no self-restraint. So when you read this, read it one more time now that you know what that means. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. So all the wisdom is going to be gone. Then shall unrighteousness, you know what that is? That's sin. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. So it means that we're going to be running around doing whatever we want to. I'm not worrying about the scriptures. I don't care about God. I don't give a damn about my brother or sister. I'm going to do what I want to do. The religion of me. I'm going to listen to what I want to listen to. I'm going to watch whatever I want to watch. I am going to wear whatever I want to wear. I'm going to worship whoever I want to worship. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm doing me, the religion of me. Are we not going through that now? Think about it. How many times have you walked out of your house, right? Looked around to see who else is in their fringes Now, I'm not saying that you don't see anybody, but how many do you see? Is it a big number? Is it vast, or is it very little? And I'm not talking about when you guys go like visit camps and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just being out. When you're in school, when you're at work, do you see it? I can tell you the answer right now. The answer is no. Very little. Okay? Verse 11. One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, no. Land talking to another land. Verse 12. At the same time shall men hope. Kings, princes, listen to this. At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. That should be a to your face. The things that you want to do, you know how us brothers, how we have ideas and we have hopes and dreams. We have these projects. We have these goals that we want to obtain. And it ain't going to happen. You know why? Because many of us, we remain in sin. And because our brothers and sisters also remain in sin as well, the Father is not going to allow it to be blessed. He said, oh, you're going to work. You're going to work. The sweat is going to drip from your face, but you are not going to see the fruit of any of it. Remember, that is a curse. You can find that in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. You'll find it there. The Father, he's telling us over and over and over. Right now, he is sitting with his son Esdras and telling him about everything that's going to be happening in the future. The Father is talking about the time right now. If you haven't picked up on that, he's talking about now. Verse 13. To shew thee such tokens, I have leave. And if thou wilt pray again and weep as now, and fast even days, thou shalt hear yet greater things. So what does the Father tell him? He said, first of all, weep. Meaning have an understanding of what's going on around you amongst your brothers and sisters. Look around and see all these, to see the atrocity amongst a disgraced nation of kings, queens, princes, and princesses. Look around and see the horror. So for that, you know what you got to do? You got to pray and you got to fast. You got to pray and you got to fast. You got to pray and you got to fast. See, we've been over this. That is not just a one-time thing. This is what our family has to do. Do y'all remember the power? Do you remember the things that happened when we did that first fast? And we did it together. And there was progress. But of course, when we do things like that, it doesn't come without attacks. I'm telling you. All right, verse 14. Then I awaken. Let me stop for a second. He awakened. What happened? Now, some people would say that this is a dream. It's not a dream. But remember, the Father put you out in your sleep state. This is when he decides to talk to you. When your conscience is down. And he's able to infiltrate your spirit, pick you up, and take you into his presence. That has happened with so many, with our brothers and sisters. And it has happened to many of you. Many of you thought that you were having dreams, but you weren't. They were premonitions. Now I'm going to read it. Then I awakened, and an extreme fearfulness went through all my body, and my mind was troubled so that it fainted. So imagine this. Here you are in this deep, deep sleep that the Father has you in. And then you wake up And you wake up so distraught from everything that he has shown you that you just faint. Just from the remembrance of what the Father showed you. I want to make sure that y'all understand that this is during the time of Ezra. So this is a long time ago. And then the Father showed him the future about how we would be in our conditions, and it made him faint. Why? Because Ezra knew who he was. He knew that he was a king. And he's like, wait a second, whoa, my people can't be like this. Oh, wait a minute, whoa, this can't be right. This can't be happening. And I don't want to go ahead of myself. You're going to learn all this here as we go. I'm telling you. All right, verse 15. So the angel that was come to talk with me held me, comforted me, and set me up upon my feet. Do you see that? Now, the angels, remember, the Father speaks through the angels. And the Father sent the angel down and said, go get him. Go get him. What did he do? He spoke to him. He comforted him. But he picked that king up and put him on his feet. Like, all right, nigga, stand up now. Come on, let's go. Let's go. You a man. Verse 16. And in the second night, it came to pass that Salathiel... I know what's coming. I'm sorry. I can't help but laughing because I know what's coming. I got to read it again. And in the second night, it came to pass that Salathiel, the captain of the people, came unto me. So this is another brother that's an Israelite that was a leader over his flock, you would say. Came unto me saying, where hast thou been? And why is thy countenance so heavy? So now here's a brother that came up to this brother Salathiel. He came up to Esdras, right? And was like, hold on, like, nigga, what's wrong with you? Like, first of all, nigga, where you been? And why are you looking the way that you're looking? Now, remember, Esdras was just fainted. The Father just showed him all of our future and our conditions now. This bothered him so bad that another brother was able to see it on his countenance. Now, verse 17, knowest thou not that Israel, who? Israel, not the whole world. Knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee in the land of their captivity? So I want y'all to understand this. Even during this time right here, they are in captivity, but they were not under the conditions that we are under now. Wow. Okay, now watch this. Verse 18, up then and eat bread and forsake us not. In other words, look, nigga, get yourself together. Don't be doing this. And the shepherd that leaveth his flock in the hands of cruel wolves. So the brother's trying to get on Esdras right now. Watch what Esdras says. Watch this. Then I said unto him, go thy ways from me, and come not nigh me. And he heard what I said and went from me. So in other words, Esdras like, nigga, get out my face. Get the hell away from me. And why was Esdras like this? Because that brother had no idea what Esdras has just seen. He had no idea. But y'all know that's us. That nigga Esdras said, nigga, get out my damn face. Get out of my face. Don't come near me right now. Because you got to understand what Esdras just saw. He saw the conditions of our people. He is in a mournful, mournful state, so much that it made him faint. That part always tickled the hell out of me. All right, verse 20. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me. Now, I want y'all to see just how specific the Father is. When he's making sure that his sons are telling the stories, he gave the name of the angel. The angel's name is Uriel. He gave the name of the angel, showing you that these aren't just some mythical beings. No, they have names. And the angel was right there with our brother. All right. Verse 21. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again. So even after he fasted 7 days, it came back to him because he again saw our conditions and he could not believe what he saw, how far we have fallen, family. Verse 22, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again. So the fast was not in vain. But do you see what happens when you fast? It puts the connection back with you and the Father. That is why it is so important to fast. See that? Verse 23, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, or as it says, one only vine. So here Esdras is talking to the Father and saying, Father, you only chose one. Now what does Salathiel say? Salathiel was like, hold on, yo, this is about Israel. This is about Israel. And now here Esdras is coming and confirming, Father, you only got one vine. You only chose one. But now I want y'all to see just how specific this gets. Watch. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. So now Esdras is showing, he said, yo, out of everything, you chose one. And of course, this is all referencing Israel. Verse 25, and of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, and of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Sion unto thyself. You see that? And that still stands today. Esdras took this down, an entire roll call of all the elements and different things on the planet. And he said, Father, you only chose one. You only chose one. Out of all those things, you only chose one. And then, of course, he mentioned Zion, showing you that that's Israel. You only chose one. Do you see the understanding that our people had back then? They knew who they were. They knew that they were royalty. They knew that Deuteronomy 7:6 was real. They knew that Deuteronomy 14:21 was real. They had that understanding. They knew it. They knew they messed up. They knew they messed up. They knew that they were in captivity, but they knew who they were because remember, the Father said in the future, I am going to remove you from your heritage. But during this time of Esdras, they were not removed from their heritage. Yes, they were in captivity because of their sin, but they were not removed from their heritage like we are today. And that is so important for our people to get and understand. They knew who they were. All right, verse 26. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, talking about Christ. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. That's us. And among all the multitudes of people, now he about to slam that, bang that gavel right now. And among all the multitudes of people that has gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So you see, Esdras broke that down, all the way down to a science. He said, you only love one. Father, you only love one, and that's us. You only love Israel. Nobody else. All the multitudes of people on the planet, all of them, there's one that you love. Verse 28. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? So do y'all see what Esdras is doing there? What did the Father show him? The Father showed him that that horrible captivity that we are in now. Remember, he's going off of memory. He's going off of that deep sleep. So I'm going to read that again. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many, and upon the one root hast thou prepared others? And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? He's saying, Father, why did you give them over? Father, wait a second now. Hold on. Is it that bad that you scattered us all over the earth? That you gave us to Esau, to Moab, to Ammon, to Ishmael? Seriously, Father? If you can see just how disgusted Esdras really is by what he saw, his vision. Verse 29, and they which did gainsay thy promises and believe not thy covenants have trodden them down. If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands? He said, wait a second, Father, if you hate your own people as much, why would you not have them just punish each other with their own hands? But no, you gave them to the base people. You gave them to the lowest people on the planet, and that's Esau. Those are the main ones. Do you truly see the disgust that Ezra had? Father, with thine own hands, why would you not put them down with your own hands? Why would you give us over to these despicable people? I really hope y'all catch that. All right. Verse 31. Now, when I had spoken these words, the angel that came to me the night afore was sent unto me and said unto me, hear me, and I will instruct thee. Hearken to the thing that I say, and I shall tell thee more. Because remember, the Most High is speaking through the angel, Uriel. Verse 33, and I said, speak on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. Lovest thou that people better than he that made them? So now, wait a minute now. Hold on a second. Woo, that's deep. So now, remember, the Father is speaking to the angel, but the Father right now, he's tightening Ezra's up. He said, yo, hold on a second. Now, I understand. I get it. I understand that you love your people, but wait a second. Do you love them more than me? You see, there is a very, very, very thin line when it comes to that, to doing the work of the Father and actually worshiping Israel. And there are a lot of people, a lot of brothers out there that fall into that trap. This work is not easy to do. And especially when you interact with our family. And I can tell you that firsthand. It's not easy. It truly, truly isn't. But it's doable. It is. And that's where you got to find that balance. You have to find, okay, hold on a second. Am I doing this for the people or am I doing it for the Most High? And the answer always should be, I'm doing this for the Most High. Because you'll run into people, they speak a great game. They'll make you think you are in this truth. They'll have you believe, oh, yes, I'm running with you. But they're not serious about the word. And this is where the Father is checking him right now. So we're going to read it one more time. Lovest thou that people better than he that made them? Verse 34, and I said, no, Lord, no, Lord, but of very grief have I spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High and to seek out part of his judgment. So again, this is what I was telling y'all earlier on that we're going to get deeper into this here. This truly, truly bothered Esdras. He couldn't get it. He could not fathom the conditions that we're living in today. It crushed him all the way down to the fiber of his soul. That an angel had to come and be like, hold on a second, wait, who do you love more? Do you love the Most High more or do you love the people more? Which one? But that is the love that our family had for each other back then. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all get that? Can you imagine if we would do that today? If we had the love for each other like that today? If every one of us had the attitude that Esdras had towards his own people? Can you imagine Esdras seeing what he saw? A homeless brother on the street? A cracked out mother? Can you imagine that? A baby hungry for food. The Sodomite sea, as it says. Can you imagine what life was like back then? Now, at one point, when we return to what we are, yeah, you'll be able to remember that because you remember every last person that you ever was. And you've only have been an Israelite. But right now, remember, that has been taken from us. We don't remember any of that. That's why it doesn't bother us. And that's a damn shame. All right, let's continue. Verse 35. And he said unto me, thou canst not. And I said, wherefore, Lord? Whereunto was I born then? Or why was not my mother's womb then my grave, that I might not have seen the travail of Jacob and the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel? So now Esdras is like, wait a second, why did you not kill me and my mother? But what is Esdras also saying? He's saying, hey, Father, that is a future time. Why would you bring me back to that? Because once again, our family understood that they came back. So Esdras is saying, why did you not kill me inside my mother? How could you seriously put me in a condition like that, Father? What's up? How? Why? And I got to read this last part. That I might not have seen the travail of Jacob. You know what that is? That's the horror and torture. And the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel. The toil. Toil! You know what toil is? Shit! That's why it's called a toilet. Esdras saw this. It's like, I can't believe that my people are in this type of condition. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Why, Father? Why would you allow me to see something like this? How could you allow our people to be in these conditions? But it's not the Father's fault. It's ours. Verse 36, and he said unto me, number me the things that are not yet come. Gather me together the dross that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. So now he's starting to check them, just like how he did Job, remember? Because now Esdras is starting to get a lot out of pocket. So now he's trying to reel him back in. Like, hold on, nigga, wait a minute. Whoa. Verse 37, open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Shew me the image of a voice, and then I will declare to thee the thing that thou laborest to know. So he's saying, first of all, nigga, pump your brakes. The Father does what he does for a reason. Who are you to question him? And remember, this is the Father talking to the angel. Our people have to be tightened up sometimes. And that's what he's doing to Esdras right now. He said, do these things and I'll give you the information that you want to know. But do you see about Esdras? Esdras is all about knowledge. Our people were always about knowledge, wanting that knowledge. Verse 38, and I said, O Lord, that bearest rule, who may know these things, but he that hath not his dwelling with men? As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of things whereof thou askest me? So he's like, hold on a second. So I don't know why these things are going on. Father, I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to have to talk and tell our people about this. But I don't have the understanding, Father, how you could do something so cruel. How you can take your kings, queens, princes, and princesses and put them under the rule of Esau, and put them under the rule of Moab, and put them under the rule of Ammon and Ishmael and everybody else. How? Verse 40, then he said unto me, no, I'm sorry. No, we are not there. Where are we at? All right, verse 40. Yeah, we are, idiot. I'm dumb. It is verse 40. Then said he unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. So he's saying, wait a second, I know what I'm doing. Shut your mouth. Nigga, you can't do nothing. But I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's the Father. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Them niggas down there are disobedient and they need their ass whooped constantly. I'm going to beat them to the point into submission. I am going to put these heathens over them so that at one point they're going to say, I can't take it no more. I can't take it. No more. And they're going to have to turn back. And when they do turn back, and when they do start keeping my commandments, when these brothers grow a pair of balls and get out there and start teaching this word, that's when I'll show my people again. I'll turn my face back to them and let them know how much I love them. That's when that's going to happen. Until then, you right now here, Esdras, you know your life, and I showed you the future. This is why it's so important that you have to make sure that this continues throughout the generations. Do your job, Esdras. Do your job. Verse 41. And I said, behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reversed till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me? Or or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? Do you see how Esdras broke that down? Talking about our family. Okay, wait a second. So, yeah, I know about them and I know about now, but what about all of them that's coming after? Wait a minute. Like, whoo! Remember, his heart. Because he knows the atrocity that's coming. And as you can see, it is not sitting well with him. Verse 42, and he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Unto a ring. You know what a ring is? Non-stop. But what is this constant circle that's going on? It means never ending. So, hold on, verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is swiftness of the first. Verse 43. So I answered and said, couldest thou not make those that have been made and be now, and that are for to come at once, that thou mightest shew thy judgment the sooner? So now, again, Esdras is feeling so bad about what he saw. So he's saying, Father, why would you not just create everybody right now? Put everybody on earth right now. Because the Father's letting them know, hey, this is going to be a cycle. It's going to be a cycle. There's going to be a life pattern. When you die, you're going to come back to me, but then I'm going to send you back on the earth. And then you're going to die and come back to me, and I'm going to send you back on the earth. But Esdras is saying, hold on a second. Why do that? Just bring everybody forth now. Again, I need y'all to understand just how much that vision bothered Esdras. Esdras is doing everything that he can to try to take up for his family and not allow that to happen. Here's what the Father has to say. Verse 44, then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker. He said, nigga, calm down. Fall back. Let me read it again. And then he answered me. Then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. The Father said, I'm not putting everybody on earth at once. I have my way of doing it. It's a cycle. I'm God. I know what I'm doing. Verse 45, and I said, as thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which givest life to all hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the Creator bear it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. Verse 46, and he said unto me, listen, the Father is so hilarious. Watch this. And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. So if y'all don't get it, the Father's like, hold on a second. Whoa. I want you to go to one of your sisters, and I want you to look at her. I want you to speak to her womb. And I want you to say to this sister, I want you to look in her eye and say to her, hey, out of all the children that you have, why don't you bring them all at once? Sit back and see if she don't punch you in your face for making such a stupid suggestion. The Father is hilarious. I love God. He's funny. He really is. Think about that, sisters. Think about that for those of you that have already had children, right? Can you imagine now, some of you have had many children, but even if you had 2, can you imagine? I know some of you had twins or whatnot. Imagine bringing all the children that you were going to have. Now, remember back then, they used to be popping them out. He said, ask that sister or whatnot to bring them all forth at once and see if she don't punch you in your throat. In other words, the Father saying that is a very stupid suggestion, and he's going to explain it further here. Verse 46, and he said unto me, verse 47, excuse me. And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. So at that point, he got it. And that's what the Father was explaining to him. Everything is done through time. Remember, the Father the concept of time is not in heaven. There's no such thing as time. It's eternal. But Esdras was not understanding that. Why? Because Esdras' soul was rattled because he saw the conditions of our people. Esdras did not want this to happen to our people. Love for his people. But that rattled him so bad that he was actually questioning God. He was questioning the Father to say, Father, please don't do that to our people. Come on, no, don't do that. Verse 48, then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times. You are alive right now because this was your time to be alive. So if your life is taken, if the Father takes you, you go back to him. And if the world is still here, he'll bring you back. And you go over that cycle again. Our people understood this. They had that concept. That's why they were never afraid to die back then. They weren't afraid to die because they knew when they died here, they go right back to the Father, and then the Father's going to send them back. That is all a part of our culture. We got it. We understood that. We did not fear death. Today we do. People fear death like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know why? Because we have been removed from our heritage. Our people don't know this life cycle. Not only that, but on top of it, here Christianity sits and tell you, oh, you're either going to go to heaven or hell. No. When every person dies, that includes Esau, that includes Moab, that includes Ammon, Ishmael, Ham. Every spirit that dies goes back to the Most High and goes into his presence, and he sends it back down at his time, at his leisure. But the Christianity, oh, no, no, no. You're going to go down and you're going to burn in fire with demons and things poking at you right now. That's not how it works. There's no judgment. Let me rephrase that. There's no final judgment that has come yet. Not yet. It'll be here, but it's not yet. Because you're judged when you come back to this earth. That's why some people, when they come back with diseases or they're crippled and things, because that is a judgment that is based on what you did in your previous life. That's what happens. Everything that you do, every action that you make, it all will determine your lifestyle. That's why it's so important to keep these commandments. All right, verse 49. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the age, even so have I disposed the world which I created. And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. And she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are unto they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? I'm going to read this all the way through so we can get it. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age when the womb faileth are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also that, how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. Now I got to stop and explain that. So this is the Father telling me, he said, first of all, our ancestors, they are greater and mightier than we are now. Do you see how the Father is breaking this down to Esdras? He's telling Esdras right now, Esdras, you are mighty, but in the future, those ancestors, your relatives, you in the future are going to be weak. Yes, you are. You're going to be weak. Because I'm going to remove you from your heritage because of sin. I'm going to sit y'all down. I'm going to disgrace you as a nation. I'm going to remove your power because all y'all want to do is sin. The religion of me. You want to do what you want to do. In the future, those individuals that you saw in that premonition, that you saw in those images that I showed you, they are the worst of the worst. Worse than the ancestors, as we read many a times. And I'm going to strip them of everything. I'm going to reduce them all the way down to the scum of the earth because they continue to sin. Verse 54. Did we do that one? No, verse 55. And so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, and I have found favor in thy sight. Shew thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. So now Ezra's like, yo, I got to get mine right. That can't happen. I don't want that to happen. But as you saw with Esdras, he saw that and was like, hell no. Hell no, that can't be my people. That can't be mine. That ain't us. We're mighty. We're kings, queens, princes, and princesses. That cannot be my damn people like that. But the fact of the matter is, it is. It is. And we, after reading that, should be absolutely disgusted. Do you see why now they removed the Apocrypha from the Bible. You see, when you have these stories here, these stories are confirmation that first and foremost that the Bible is only for one and that God only loves one. And it confirms who we are. It confirms our might, our power, our stature. But as the world says, we're slaves, monkeys, we are no do-gooders, we are the worst of the bunch, we are violent, we are the scum of the earth, we're nothing, bottom feeders, at the bottom of the barrel. That's what the world says. But what does the word say? The word says that we are the greatest people on the planet, above all nations on the planet. Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 14:21. So when you read these stories, when you heard this, did it change your mind? Did it change your thinking? Did it change your pattern so that when you look in the mirror, you can look at yourself and be like, you know what? My ancestor Esdras did not want me living in these conditions so much that it sickened him. So I ask you a question, and this is both male and female. I'm going to look you in your eye, and I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to ask you this here. When you look in the mirror, do you see the crown on your head? If you don't, you better put it there. You better put your crown on. And do you know how you do that? By keeping the commandments. That is the only way how we come back into the good graces of the Father. So the question, are you going to be a part of it when it comes down? Because the Father is going to send Christ and angels back. And he's going to exterminate those who won't listen, who are disobedient to his word. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be your children. Don't let it be your neighbor, your friends. You actually have to open your mouth and speak. You have to read the scriptures to our people. Show them their greatness. You don't have to be on YouTube to do this. But a lot of our people don't have any courage. That's a major problem. Why? Esau removed our courage. Because Esau told us that we were nothing. They broke us in slavery. But you're not a slave. You're a king. You're a queen. You are a prince and you are a princess. You are royalty on the planet. Royalty. And don't you ever forget it. Israel. I'm so glad we were able to bring out 2nd Ezra chapter 5. Don't ever forget this one. And I want you guys to go back and read this one on your own. And I want you to reignite the feeling that you should have right now, knowing who you are. The best. The best of the best. And you didn't do it on your own. The Father created you to be that way. And don't you feel bad about it either. The Father created you something special unto himself. The only ones on the world that he loves. The Bible says it over and over and over. You see, that's what happens when you actually open the book and read it. Versus what an idiot Christian pastor or any other foolish religion will sit there and tell you that all people are included when the damn scriptures say the Father has one that he loves. One, and it's Israel. We ain't playing no games. We don't give a damn about nobody's feelings. Oh, nigga, oh, well. Sorry, you weren't chosen. I can't do nothing about that. But you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the chosen ones. Go back and read this. I want you to have a Bible study on it tomorrow when you wake up. And share it with your family. Invite people over. Let them know. Let them know that they are the greatest. But also make sure that you let them know who the greatest truly is. And you belong to him and nobody else. And family, I love y'all. And I want y'all to have a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath. And I want you guys to love each other, hug each other, and always know when you look in the mirror, put your crown on. All right? And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.